quiet on set. So what happens here? Do you get like, oh, there's a little notification?
No, I clicked on live. Or does that mean I'm going live?
Letting everyone know that we're going live. Hello. Hello, hello. We're going live. We're doing a haircut. Haircuts. Okay. Doesn't even tell you, huh?
I never get
Oh, watch. There it is. Hey. Okay. Oh, it's like leg, huh? All right. Hello, hello. We're doing haircut. And hi. Hi, everyone. That's going to be annoying. Turn the volume off. Okay. This is my sister. Hey. Hey. And she's got very, very fine hair. So we're going to do a haircut, and then we're going to do a little blow dry. And then we're going to do my niece's hair, who's got very thick, wavy hair. My sister has curly, fine hair, and my niece is thick and wavy. I love your hat. Thanks. I didn't even know I had a hat on. I like your hat too.
That's my cabinet behind me, not my hat.
Yeah. It's a basket on the shelf. Okay.
Oh, hair. They meant to say hair.
Hair. Oh, okay. Thank you. Einer. What does that one mean? E-I-N-E-A-R. I don't know what that word is. That's
City on?
okay, so I'm gonna have her spin around a little bit. So, because the light's coming from this way, you gotta stick with the light. So let me just turn you a little more. You can go with your back to us. Okay. So the first thing I'm doing, I'm gonna part her into 4 sections. So turn sideways again. What is it? Just on the chair. So we're starting with going from the very top of the head where the comb lays flat to right where this ear connects right here. So I'm not going to be doing it behind the hair or ear because that's not where the hair lays. Lays naturally. It doesn't naturally fall like this. So we're going with the natural split there right above the ear. So going from the top of the head to where that ear connects. And then I grab my clips. And same thing on the other side. So start with 4 sections. Is there SMA? Okay. Now I'll have you turn on the chair. I got to go. Got to go. Okay. So on the back again, we're going to split it down the middle here from that top of the head right down to the nape of the neck. I'm just going to set my thumb there and draw my comb right to my finger there. So I have a nice clean section. It's always nice to start with clean sections. Now she has very fine hair, so I don't have to do a lot of sections going up. I just have to make sure I can first find my guide. So this is like the perimeter guide. And I'm just going to take a small section, about, half an inch to an inch, depending on how thick the hair is. And I just want to make sure that this hair is the same length as this hair, especially when you're working with long hair, because a lot of times this underneath hair breaks, so it could be a lot shorter. So we're making sure that all this hair is the same length. Looks like it is. That looks like a good section for my guide. I'm going to take a small section around the neck and then right up here to where that ear connects. And the design line is the most important part of the haircut. If you get that correct, then the rest of the haircut will go quickly. So again, I'm just taking a small parting just on the bottom, right around the ear there, and clipping this all up. And today we're just doing a haircut that's like layers, a couple inches off the bottom, and then long layers. Okay, so I'm going to have her tilt their head forward so that creates kind of a flat surface so that she's not hitting their shoulders. And I'm going to start with just a guide right here in the middle. This is just a piece of hair that's large enough to see and small enough to adjust. So we're gonna do about 2 inches. So my comb is about 1 inch at the teeth. And so we're gonna do about 2 combs length, 1 and 2, right about here. So then I'm gonna go ahead, create my guide. Boom. I don't know if you can see that, but that's gonna be where my haircut's gonna start right there. So this is gonna be my length, and now I'm just gonna extend this guide to either side. Maybe I should use a different comb. I use this one. Okay. Got a different comb now. Okay, so now I'm just gonna connect this out to one side and then the other. So starting in the middle, I'm only gonna take enough hair in my hand that I can control. I don't want too much hair in my hand. And then my guide's right here, keep looking down. And I'm just gonna take small quick snips and continue that line. So I'm not cutting past my second knuckle because this is gonna be even tension right here, where past the second knuckle, it's gonna be looser tension. And that's gonna create like a scalpel or a wavy line rather than a straight line. Okay. I'm just using my thumb to move the cutting blade, not chomping at it with my whole hand, my fingers. And then I'm just gonna start the center again and work my way to the right, splitting that line in half. So, right here, I see my guide and my fingers right there. I'm gonna cut, holding on to that section for control, bringing the next section down. And taking that off. Okay, now that I got my line here, if you want to see if anybody's saying anything, you can read it.
Yeah, there aren't any questions.
Okay, so now we're just going to check to make sure this is nice and even. I put my comb with the teeth up right in the center there. I'm going to fan her hair out nicely and evenly across the comb and kind of pull this straight down. We're just making sure that it all kind of falls out of the comb at the same time. Looks like it's pretty good. Might be a little bit long right here. Let's see. Yeah.
I can see it good.
Does it look good nice?
Yes.
Okay, my arm's always reflecting my angle. I always want to take the same shape as I have my part. So if I'm doing an A, my arm's going to be reflecting that. If I'm doing a V shape, my arm will reflect that. But right now we're doing horizontal, so I'm keeping my arm horizontal. And I'm also keeping my wrist neutral, so we're not bending at the wrist and causing carpal tunnel. Okay, so now that I got my guide, what? What?
Are you going to color it?
Color it?
That's what the question is.
Oh, no, I'm not going to color it. We're going to cut it.
They can see my gray.
We're doing haircuts. Okay, so now I can still see my guide cleanly through my section there. So as long as I can see my guide, I can pull down a larger section. If I was doing like an A line or something with elevation, I would be taking smaller sections. But I can see my guide pretty clear through there. So we're just gonna pull it down, and you can see my guide's right underneath there. And always having my guide in view. Again, working just from that center out to the sides. And I like to spend most of the majority of the time on the guide so that, because that's the foundation of the haircut. If you have a really straight guide, you don't have to go back and check every section. You already know that as long as I followed that guide, my line will be straight because I checked that guide previously. I'm not giving a lot of tension here. I'm doing like, you know, almost very minimal tension, just kind of enough just to hold it, but not a lot of pulling.
But your partings aren't straight.
That's okay. As long as you can clearly see your guide. You don't have to be perfect. I mean, you can make them, I could redo it if, you know, but now we're gonna just pull down the rest of this section because her hair is fine. I can see through the section pretty easily. I mean, I can see the guide underneath, and as long as I can see my guide, I can pull that much hair down. So, again, starting the center, working my way to the sides, just using small, quick snips with my blade, and using my thumb to move the blade rather than my fingers. That's going to be less stress on your hands. And it's going to give you a better cut. So we're just continuing to cut this nice and straight here. Okay, so that looks good. So now I'm gonna move on to those sides. I'm gonna have her sit sideways on the chair. Yeah. And I'm just gonna take these sides and extend them forward. So we've got our length right here. I'm gonna have her tilt her head slightly to the left just to create like a flat surface so it's not hitting her on the shoulder. I'm gonna comb this straight down here.
What made you want to become a hairstylist?
My friend was a hairdresser and she made a lot of money, and she took me to a hair show one time with her, and she like, you know, it was very artistic, and I was like, this looks like a fun career. Plus I got all C's in high school. So. Just kidding.
You got A in art.
I did get an A in art. I was in an honors art class, so, you know. Okay, so I just took that line and I used my guide from right here behind the ear. This is gonna be like the weakest point of the haircut right here. We're gonna use this guide and just extended it straight line forward. And then I'm gonna go and do the same thing on the other side. Switch. Okay, again, tilting her head just so that it cleans up so she's not resting on that shoulder. They get that shoulder out of the way. We're gonna pull it. Pull it down. Again, using the guide from right here behind the ear. That was that last section I cut from the back. And then just taking that line straight and forward. Extending it until I run out of hair. Okay, now that she's cut on both sides, I'm coming out in front of her, and I'm just gonna give it like a visual check and just make sure that I look like I'm about the same length. And if I'm not, I just tilt her head until it is. Just kidding. So I have like a tiny bit longer just right here. That's good. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna do, so let's turn the chair around. Now we're gonna do some face framing in the front. She wants to do a little bit of like a face framing layer. Do you want bangs?
No.
No bangs.
No bangs.
Just face framing layers. So where do you want the face framing to start? You want to be long enough to, we're in your lip?
Yeah.
So chin maybe?
Yeah, chin.
Okay, so we're gonna start a face framing at the chin. I always wanted to run the knowledge of a cosmetologist, so this makes me happy to watch. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Okay, so we got to look at this over here. So this is going to be the main focus right here, is this lovely cowlick that we got going on. So we got to take that in mind, because if I pull her, and you see this on every bang video that ever goes viral, if I pull this down with tension and I cut it and it jumps up, like if you look at that, how much that jumped up like a good inch. That, you know, especially if I'm cutting it short, I have to pull it down and release all that tension so that they can go into its natural habitat and then cut it, because otherwise I'm going to have bangs that stick straight up. And she doesn't want bangs that stick straight up. She wants long face framing layers. If she wants bangs that stick straight up, it's going to be a different story. So now I'm just going to look, I'm going to kind of let it, kind of mess it up with my fingers, let it kind of go natural, and then I'm going to look at this length with my baby. So we're going to take it, I'm just going to take a little section, large enough to see, small enough to adjust. Maybe a little more. I'm going to put it right here. So not a lot's coming off, just the tips right here. And that's going to leave it about chin length with that cowlick. So now I'm going to take that center guide that I have, and I'm going to connect it to right behind this ear right here. So what I want to do is create this angle in the front. So looking at her hair, I'm not going to be over directing this angle forward or elevating it, because that's going to create a layer. What I'm going to do is comb the hair straight down from where it naturally falls. Let me have you sit.
Does it matter that I do a side part?
Yes, it does. So let's change it. Let's have you part it where you like to part it. I need to wipe it a little bit. Yeah. So that's important that we change her part up so that it's where she wears it, because why would you want to center face framing if you don't wear center? Yeah, so you're just gonna.
All right, we'll see. Hold on.
I don't know if you want to take her out of there.
Something around there, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm old. I still wear a side part. That's okay.
We won't.
I have the colic
hold it
helps
against
me.
you. Yeah, we don't get a choice sometimes. So this is going to change how this looks a little bit. So we're still going to take that face framing. We're going to start at her chin. So I'm going to take a little bit off of this. There we go. That's about her chin. And then I'm just going to connect this. I don't want to go too angled. You know, I want to keep my angle almost straight up and down depending on how long her hair is. So if her hair, you know, can reach, we want to bring the angle as far over because we don't want to cut a mullet in this case. Sometimes we love mullets, but today we're not doing mullets. Okay, so I'm going to check and see where that angle is. So here's my guide on this side. Let's see, let me cut this guide too. Since we're putting down the side, we're going to cut the second guide right there. Okay, so taking this in the front of the comb here, and then we're going to put all this hair in here, and then this piece in the back of the comb. We're going to comb it straight down. I'm going to pinch this front guide with my finger here, and then I'm just going to comb it straight down where it lands and pivot, and as soon as that back hair drops out right here, that's my angle. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's the angle that I'm going to be cutting. So now that I know that angle, I got to just kind of mentally take a note of where that is, and I'm going to start sectioning and cutting to that angle. So again, we're combing it straight down where it grows from. We're going to find that front guide in my fingers, and then I'm going to pivot to that angle that I just took right there, and then just cut that, oops, and bounce her in the face, just to make sure she's paying attention. I was looking at the camera. Sorry. Again, and then now I have a new guide, which is where that section ended. So I'm going to comb it straight down to that new guide. When I get to that new guide in my fingers, I'm going to start pivoting and just take off that hair. And I'm not going to be elevating it too much or over directing it forward too much because I don't want to layer it. So now that that's kind of cut, I'm just going to go back and look at my line here, maybe take a little bit more right at this corner. And now I'm going to just freehand it and just make sure that that line is nice and clean. Oh, don't turn your head. And yeah, get all those little stray ones, anything I missed, and just clean that up. Okay, and now we're going to go to the other side. Do the same thing. Let me get this. I got like a cup of water that I can just dip the comb in. Thanks. I'm gonna drink. Okay. There we are. Now we're getting some. This is what I call the dip. So like if you don't have a spray bottle, you just like dip the comb in water, and then like hurry up and get it on the head, and then it gets it nice and wet. We're fancy like that. Okay. So we got the dip. Now we're gonna, again, comb it down from where it naturally falls here. We're looking for that guide that I cut earlier, that's right here. And then using that back guide back here, we're gonna put the front guide in front of the comb, set the hair on top of it, placing that back guide in the back of the comb, combing it straight down, pinching it before it falls out, and then just rotating until that back guide drops off. There's my angle. So, mental note. Okay, so now I'm actually going to come over because I want to be cutting downhill because I'm preserving weight. I don't want to be cutting uphill because the hair falls into the scissor more, so you want to push the hair out of the scissor the way that it actually will fall to preserve that weight at the bottom. So, starting with a section in the front, no more hair than I can easily control in my fingers. I'm going to go down, I usually have more room. So I'm going to go from over here, go down, down, down to where that front guide is. And then I'm gonna just pivot it around and cut. And then holding on to that section and adding hair. Again, cutting down from where that hair grows to where I ended cutting, and then pivoting around and taking out that angle. Holding that in my hand, adding a little bit more hair. And I like to have my fingers push the comb down for control. Let's see, where do I go here? Get my angle. And then again, I don't know what position right here.
Do you want to move my chair?
That's okay. I'll just float. Float above. Okay. Just your haircut was up, nothing else.
Okay.
And my back. My physical well-being. Okay, so here we go. Now we got this angle again. You can tell my person not to move. I'm just gonna go in freehand and just touch it up. Making sure it looks real nice. Sometimes I like to cup it under. If they have long hair, I have them bend at the waist forward so their hair is hanging. Yeah, if you want to show, like this. That's, yeah, just like this. And then I can kind of see how that angle is falling on each side. Okay, so just see how this is looking. I might want to even, well, yeah, let's see. I'm going to push it back here and take maybe a tiny bit more of this here. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to hair, if you couldn't tell. Okay, so now we got a little bit of that face bringing in there. Now we're going to go on to the layers. So for the layers, you want to do long layers. So we're going to start by making a top guide. So tilt your chin down.
Show all my gray hair.
Yeah, it's cute. I barely have any. So we're going to start on the very top. We're going to grab a section of hair that's not too big, you know, it's large enough to see, small enough to adjust, ever. And then measure this hair. And this is where I ask the customer, like, where do you want your layers to fall? Like, maybe like here? She already looks like she's got a little bit of layer in there. So about, you know, cheek length, we'll just clean it up a little bit. So I'm gonna just cut that guide right there. So now I have my length here, and I've got my length here. And then I just need to connect the two. So I'm always working from short to long because I want my guides in view at all times. If I'm trying to work down, then my guide is underneath, you know, so if I'm working from long to short, my guide is gonna be underneath my hand right here and I won't be able to see it. So I wanna work from short to long so I can view my guide at all times. So here we go, we got, like I said, we have our guide, our front guide and our top guide, and we're gonna marry them together in a holy matrimony of hair. Here we go. So now we got, let's find that guide in my fingers. Where'd it go? Let's see, there it is. I'm only holding enough hair that I can easily control. And then just taking that section off here. And I'm working at that angle, but I'm not over directing that. I'm pulling it 90 degrees straight up from the head. Let me move on. Okay, so now I got my guide here. I'm going to take that guide and split it in half so that I have a little bit of guide on each side while I'm working around the head shape. Okay, so starting with the front, I'm not, you know, I don't want too big of a section, not much wider than the width of the comb there because I don't want over direction. I'm going to take this first section straight up until I see my guide, and then take that off. And I'm letting this fall out because a lot of times by the hairline, the hair is a little weaker, or they might have like a little bit of a recession here, and you want that hair to fall out so that they have coverage and you don't end up with a hole in the haircut. So,
That's a good call.
Yeah.
No holes today.
We don't want holes today. Sometimes that might be what you're going for. And I'm okay with that. Okay, so now we're going straight up again to where I see that guide. I'm just taking a little bit of the ends off. And continue to overlap that section, taking half of the first section. Straight up. Wow. Just mesmerized. Section, pull it over, and again. Here I'm right around this recession, almost past it. So I still want to let this hair drop out here because that's still kind of in that area. We want to make sure we have coverage there at all times. I'm just going straight up, boom, boom, 90 degrees, straight up, where I see my guide. And angling it so that that bottom drops out and taking that hair off. And at any time you lose your guide, you know, don't just cut, find it, make sure it's clear, it's in view, and you're not just randomly cutting things that you can't clearly see, because that doesn't always work out so well. So then again, going straight up off the head to where I see that guide in view. And we're just kind of dusting these ends. We're not taking a lot of hair off, but just kind of cleaning up so that the layers look more on purpose. All right. So if you want to spin in the chair, we can do your back. Okay. Now I can see the back of her. Okay, so now I'm kind of on this. Let me turn that on this side right here. I'm getting my section, pulling it straight up, and then we're gonna angle it. It's hard for me to do this. Let me have you sit sideways, actually. Yeah, it's hard for me to get my elbow there, and I don't want it to be in the camera, so I'm bringing it straight up, angling it, and then taking that ends off. Nice little layer. Again. Just hanging out like that. It's like, what's all of this? Alright, and just working around that head shape, going in a circle around. Trying not to over direct my section too much. I'm always overlapping sections to make sure that no hair is skipped. Bring it all the way to the very top of the head. 90 degrees, angling it for that shape. And the reason we're angling it is because she wants to preserve weight. She has fine hair, so you don't want to take a lot of weight out of the ends. If I was going to follow the head shape around, that's going to take away maximum lengths or maximum weight, so that these ends would be very, very thin at the bottom. And we don't want it to be too like stringy or wispy. Unless that's the look you're going for, which might be, because a lot of people ask me for stringy hair. They say, I want it to look stringy at the bottom. And I said, that's a thing that you are here because you don't want. So, okay, again, turn backwards. So now we're just following this head shape around, using that central top guide as like my pivot point. And this hair is going to drop out at the bottom. Just bring it all the way up to 90 degrees, taking that length off. And again, overlapping that section. Kind of move this bangs out of the way here. And then turn sideways. When I am cutting, around this area, I want to leave like at least, a good amount around the ear, because that's a weak point of the haircut. So I don't want to take too much of that off, because we could create a hole. So we're going to leave a little more over there and not just hope it drops out. And then cutting that angle, overlapping that section, keeping, smaller sections, try not to bring them too much wider than the width of my comb so that I don't get over direction. And just following the head shape around to this front area. And the section after this, I'm now back into that recession area, so I have to be mindful of not to cut it too short and make sure I have enough that's dropping out. And you might not even need a layer right here, because you don't want to cut into that hairline. It's already angled because of the face framing, so, and it's not very long, so you can kind of just see, maybe take a little. Okay. So yeah, now I'm going to go and just do a crown. Let me have you sit forward now. Let's check the crown, make sure we're like we're pretty good. You want to see like a shape that's kind of a V. And then I'm just gonna go back and check the haircut and make sure that didn't skip any big pieces, or there's nothing that I need to touch up. I might even go in at this point and kind of do some texturizing on those ends, or you know, just kind of point cutting, just kind of depending on the look that they want. I think on Jen's hair, she probably wants the like thickest ends,
Yes.
like straightest ends, not too much, you know, wispiness in there, because
Wispy enough.
yeah,
Not much there.
happen naturally. So but this is looking good. I'll blow dry it, but we don't have a round brush or a concentrator or any products, so we're working with what we got. We do have a brush though, so that's something. Let's see. So let me plug this in. I know this isn't a professional hairdryer, but you think it will reach 2 feet? No. Plug this one in.
We're doing this on the fly, folks.
Yeah.
On the fly.
The hotel I stayed at said if you want to take the hairdryer home with you, you can buy it for $45. And it was like a little Conair, like giveaway free hairdryer. I was like, no, I'm not gonna take that.
I'm gonna give it back, pay them for you to use it.
$45 for a Conair. That's a Conair if I was. Okay. Here we go.
Do you want me to flip around?
No, you're good. There you go. There's my son.
Almost done.
And it starts without even having to turn it on. That's nice.
Tell me when you're done.
Okay.
So I just got a brush.
This will take about 30 seconds.
This is hard to do. It's not easy with this setup we got, but we're gonna work at it.
Challenge. Happy hairstylist.
Yeah. Joke's on me.
What do you do when you go on vacation and people ask you for a haircut? You don't have any of your stuff.
Yeah, you make do. So I'm just like going around and leaf wrapping it first and kind of getting it mostly dry on that scalp, and then I'll kind of, if I had a round brush, I'd come in and really, you know, make it smooth. But we don't want to put on too much air because it's kind of just blowing her hair around. That's not really what we want to do. So we just do like a low setting, medium heat. Don't take the round brush thing personally, then.
Yeah.
I get it. Do you like your hair going forward or back?
Back.
Like, you want to kind of
Yeah.
press it? She's got a lot of natural waves in her hair. So you can kind of play with that. It's super healthy hair too, so it dries extra fast. Unlike mine, it takes a week. Those coarse ends. If I had a diffuser, this would be really nice because she's got this kind of curls that want to just kind of naturally. Maybe I should turn it down. Kind of has all these nice, really pretty natural curls. So we want to like enhance them just by twisting and kind of turning it a little bit. Now, you can see why the diffuser would go. So a diffuser would have this hair go out, and I wonder if I can like make believe diffuser. Oh,
Fine.
like have like a. Look good. Yeah.
Finish it up.
Okay. Jen's not the most patient. But yeah, we got it. You don't have to see the whole thing. You can. I'll put the finished product on my Instagram. You can check it out there. Yeah. So good. Next, we're gonna do Lexi, who's got lots of hair. Thick hair.
The exact opposite of her mama.
Yeah. You're gonna hand the password, right?
Yeah. Are you gonna stop this and then restart it?
No. These are my balls.
Should I make Harper a bottle?
Huh?
Should I make Harper a bottle?
Yeah. Kind of got a little wave to it. It looks kind of cute, actually. Not too bad. It's kind of fun.
With no product in it?
No
Yeah.
product and not the best tools and working with
No diffuser.
no diffuser.
I think you mentioned
no
that.
diffuser. Can you
Or a
believe-
round brush.
Who has curly hair and doesn't own a diffuser? You guys, come on. We're gonna buy Jen a diffuser.
If only she had a stylist in her life to guide her.
Yeah, that didn't live 2,000 miles away. Send me a diffuser in my PO box.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't have PO box, but if I need one, let me know, guys. Yeah, so that's kind of
Alright.
cute, actually. Yes. Yay! This looks super cute. See, that's what I'm talking about. There.
Thanks, Carrie.
Yeah.
The happy hairstylist.
Doing it again.
All
Go
right.
look at the mirror and tell me, but don't move too much on the way there.
Okay.
Okay, then we'll do Lexi. And we'll.
Yep.
Real nice. Come on, Lexi, do Okay, Lexi. This is my niece. She's ready for the couch.
What?
Go ahead and sit down.
Should I take this on?
Yeah. This is my niece Lexi, and we're doing like, what are we doing, Lexi?
Like long layers.
Long layers.
Cleaning up curtain bangs and bangs.
Uh-oh, curtain bangs, everybody.
Yeah.
We got those curtain bangs. Are we gonna cut bangs or like kind of?
I mean, I already have bangs.
We're
Like,
gonna
I
see what they
cut
look
them
like.
myself, yeah.
We're gonna see if they're messed up.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
How do you part your hair?
In the middle.
In the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna brush it out. Oh, it's actually in pretty good condition. Look at you. It's starting to dry. We need to get it wetter. The comb drips out. Do you have a water bottle?
Oh, I do, but the bottle, what do you think?
Oh.
I know it's over there. How much water?
Well, whatever. Maybe 6. Okay. So we got. Is this your center part? Not quite. I'm gonna use my big comb. Yeah. So much easier. With thicker hair. I'm using a bigger comb. Just because we don't want to take these tiny sections. We'll be here for a week. Okay. So let's see. Tilt your head down a little bit. You go right there in the center. Boom. Do you have it on your phone, Lexi? Maybe you could put it on and we can answer questions, or for anybody else. If you guys have any questions, I'll have Lexi look it up so that I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a little delayed though.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I actually can't see the questions.
Well, they'll come up
somebody
here.
followed you.
Oh no, here. They'll come up.
You'll
This
see it
is
when it
what
comes
is
up.
Oh no, this is what.
Yeah.
Well, if people
I'll let
say
you know.
something there, you can.
I'll let you know.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's do the little dip trick. So we're gonna just dip this comb into the water and get it in her head. Let's dip her hair in the water. There you go. Perfect. We'll just kind of smash it on her head. Okay. This is a professional way to do it. So, make sure you're professional if you're dipping hair. So Lexi's got a lot of natural texture in her hair. And look at the wave, which is really pretty. We can work with that to her favor. So we got these curtain bangs that look like we cut ourselves. So we're going to clean those up. And I like to, sometimes with the bangs, it's good to start it with the bangs because then they can kind of start to like dry, and you can kind of see the shape that they're going to take there as they're drying. And then by the time you're done with the rest of the haircut, they'll be mostly dry, and you can then go back and adjust them if necessary. So, oh, there's that guy. That's my son. Okay. All right. So let's see. So is that where you part it? It's kind of just doing that whether it wants.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like this? Is that too offside? That's not.
No, that looks perfect. That's what I usually do.
Okay. That's kind of where it's telling me. It's very like you gotta listen to the hair. What is it gonna tell you? So she's got the same calic as their mommy. Great. I love that. So we're gonna just start. So she wants to do layers. So we're definitely gonna have to, like, if you can see this face framing, we're gonna have to clean that up because that's a little frayed. And then the, you want to just connect the bangs right into the face framing.
Yeah, that's fine.
And how much do you want to take off the ends?
Whatever you think would work
like
well.
a slight trim, or do you want to lose some length, or
You can do like an inch. That's
okay.
fine.
An inch is good. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with these bangs, though. I'm just gonna section out what I want her bangs to be and how heavy I want them. Remember, these bangs are gonna like blend into the rest of the hair, but we kind of just want to take the hair that kind of naturally falls that way. It doesn't have to be like a perfect part even. Just whatever groups together and looks. Sometimes the hair, like, it's obviously wanting to split right there, so we're not gonna fight it. We're just gonna let it split right there. And then this hair kind of is. If you want to turn your head. This one's kind of coming back this way, so we're gonna just let it live there because that's where it's gonna go. So why fight it every day? Like, cut it where it lays, right? So we're gonna take. How much you want to keep them long, right?
The bangs?
Yeah.
You can make them shorter.
Okay. But I think this is actually pretty good length. Like, I would say, if you want like those long kind of curtain bangs, I think tip of the nose is a really good place to start. Because then if that's long enough, you can kind of get a round brush underneath it, and then you can have it kind of fall right around temple when it falls backwards. So we're gonna, whoa, this is the dip trick. It's always good for when you have a phone in your lap. There you go. Okay. Should I razor it? Just the bang area? Sure.
I trust you.
Okay.
Despite your bad Yelp review.
Yes. We're not talking about, I got a bad Yelp review, my first one ever. Oh, yeah, and it wasn't like, I just explained it so many times to her, and she just didn't listen to me. And exactly what I told her was going to happen, happened, and so she didn't like that. Okay, so I'm going to do this with a razor, because why not? The razor gives you like a nice smooth cut. I'm going to get my razor out of here. So this is just like a regular old Equinox straight blade razor. First things first, I gotta change the blade. So I'm gonna open it up. And you gotta be careful with these razors because I always cut myself. Never cut anyone else, but so I'm taking that blade out. I'm gonna put it somewhere safe. Open this and put a new blade in. Taking that old blade, put it right there in that wrapper that I just took out the.
Mom, I remember I was out this way.
Yeah.
Then I just went in there.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna put this razor, line it up on these little dots right there. Close it up. So razors you always want to use on wet hair. You don't want to cut dry with a razor because it will fray the hair. And if the hair is like fine hair, you probably don't want to use a razor on too much. If it's damaged, you want to put a lot of like leave-in conditioner in the hair first, just so it cuts a little smoother. Okay, so first we're going to start with our length. I think the length is pretty good where this starts. I might just take a little bit more. So I'm gonna so the razor is different from scissors because instead of cutting underneath your fingers, you cut above. So you let your guide drop out and then cut. So actually I'm gonna cut the guide just with my scissors because it is pretty short and I wanna make sure that I can take enough off. Or I don't wanna take too much off. The razor is removing a little bit more length. So pulling straight down, releasing that tension, letting it jump, and then just Cutting that guide right at that tip of the nose. Now I got my razor and I'm holding it like this, almost like this is like where your scissors, where your ring finger would sit on your scissors, same thing. Holding it like in my knuckles here. And
Yes.
I'm going to split this section in half just so I'm not taking too much hair at once. I want to make a guide first. And I'm going to take this and we're just going to start at this line and just, I mean, it's actually pretty good right now. So I'm not going to take, maybe I'll do this with my scissors. There's not enough, the reason I'm going to change is because there's not enough in that area right there to take off with the razor. And I don't want to accidentally nick myself. So I'm awfully good at that. So here we go. Here's the center right here. And we're just going to go, I'm going straight down and I'm just pivoting. And I'm just cutting that angle. So I'm not over directing it. I'm not twisting it and trying to cut it. I'm just cutting it, taking it straight, letting that go, pivoting, and taking that angle. So there's that side. And now I'm going to continue and just pull down the rest of that hair there. And letting it kind of sit where it wants to live. And now I can use the razor because this is longer. So, going in again with my razor. I've got my guide right here in my fingers. I'm going to just hold down until that guide drops out, and then I'm just going to go down and take off. And I'm going kind of at a 45-degree angle. Depending on how either parallel or perpendicular, that will decide how much hair you're cutting or how wispy that line is. So the more perpendicular I am to cutting, it's going to give me a blunt line. The more parallel I am, it's going to give me a super fine line.
Did you do it?
No, it's just, don't talk about it. Okay, so here we go. So now we're just going to continue that line down. And this razor is really sharp, and we're just taking off that little angle right there. Every time I can apply that, I cut myself. Really? Okay, so now we're cutting this section in half. And I'm going to go back to using my scissor, pulling that out of the way. And I'm just going to do this other side. Keep in mind, like, kind of where I ended here. I ended like about chin length. So I want to kind of aim for that same spot. Get this. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Move your phone over there. The other side. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to take, and I'm going to actually stand on this other side so you can see a little better. I'm going to.
What do you say hi?
Hmm?
Somebody.
Hi.
Hi to Saya.
Saya. Hello. Okay, so now we're coming straight down, and then we're gonna actually this side actually has longer hair, so we can use the razor over here. I thought that side was gonna be like the other side, but I forgot these are home bags, so they're a little different. Okay, so now we're gonna go just starting right when that guide drops out. I see the guide, and I'm just gonna go at an angle, taking it down. And then adding to that bang, we're going to just take the rest of that section down, kind of where it lives, and then just follow that line all the way until we run out of hair. Okay, so now starting at that center, letting that guide drop out, and just I can see my line underneath there coming in at about 45-degree angle. And this is a super sharp blade, so it's not pulling, it doesn't hurt, and it gives me a nice face framing there. Okay, so now that I got those bangs kind of etched in there, I'm gonna kind of set them how they want to dry. Let's Like I want these bangs to kind of like this.
Yeah.
I wonder if they even need to be a little bit shorter.
You can put them shorter.
Let's see. Just because then they'll sit a little bit nicer
Yeah.
on the face. I'm gonna take them, yeah, just a little bit shorter. We're gonna just take. Hold on, I'm gonna try.
I mean, you'll know in like 30 seconds.
Well, I mean, like if you were to actually style them with a round brush,
Yeah.
and you style them kind of this way, and then they kind of dry
Mm-hmm.
here, they might be kind of perfect. So we're not gonna mess them up. Okay, we're gonna put them like this and kind of let them live. See what they're gonna do to us. See if they even want to be bangs. Okay.
A lot of people are following.
Yeah. Okay, so we're kind of just letting them see if this one wants to. What do you want to do, Bang? Tell me your story. And this might be a little bit heavy right here, in which we might want to remove a little bit of weight. This one, this way. You really definitely have to style these with some kind of round brush. But if I'm doing it with the round brush, I'm just going to put my round brush in here, hold it this way, and blow it back. And then it will kind of fall like this nice. And you know, those bangs are a little bit longer. This is why I do them first, and now they can dry, and then we can, you know, check back. If we want to maybe like take a little bit more because we want to open it up on the face a little bit more, you know, that would be pretty too. But we'll kind of see as I'm cutting the rest of the hair. Because this one is clearly hating me at the moment. Like it's just like I want to do this, but that might be. I don't know. Long layers might be kind of nice. Wish we had a round brush. Oops.
I'm wrong for it.
Okay, so now we're going to cut the length. So I'm going to have to spin the other way on the chair. So we'll turn you around backwards. Okay. So she wants to take off like 2 inches, and she's got like a lot of curl in her hair, a lot of wave, which is going to be nice at the end. Once we put these layers in, we're going to have this texture. It's going to be so pretty. Do we have any leave-in? Oh, this stuff here. Oh, gotcha. Taming cream. This is okay. Okay, yeah. At this point, I'm going to put a little bit of product on. This is just a leave-in conditioner. And when this company starts paying me, I'll tell you all about it. Until then, we won't mention what product it is. Okay, so this is a little leave-in. This will just help you get through the hair, keep it nice and moisturized. And then we got, oh, this is good, taming cream. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit of this taming cream in here. This is a good curl cream. This will help with the frizz as it's drying. And usually with curly hair, you don't want to blow a lot of air into it. You don't want to like be combing it with a small comb straight. You want to get out of the shower, towel dry it with or dry it with like a t-shirt, maybe not a towel, just because the towel is more rough and it can create a little bit more frizz there. And then you want to, you know, use a wide tooth comb or your fingers and just kind of comb through that hair. And try to not to disrupt the hair as much as possible, and then twist it into like corkscrews and let it dry naturally, or use a diffuser, dry it to 70 or 80%, and then let it dry naturally the rest of the way, because that's going to give you the nicest curl without a lot of frizz. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing like we did on the other side, where I'm splitting it right where her ear connects, moving this back. I think you should do a little bit shorter, not shorter layers, but like you know what's trendy right now is like kind of like a shag, but like you don't have to go as extreme as like a shag, but like maybe have a little bit of fullness through like everywhere because you got that great curl. What do you think? Yeah.
I just don't want it to be like super intense.
It's not gonna be like a mullet. I'll make it look pretty. And then like when you have it, when it's up, you'll have like kind of more hair, and like your ponytail will look more fun because it'll have different layers in it. And then you'll have some around your face if you need to take some down in the front. I'm not gonna do a mullet, I promise. She's worried I'm gonna mullet her up.
Okay.
And I would love to do
Will
more.
it thin out my hair a little bit?
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean the layer, we're
Yeah.
cutting it off, so yeah. Okay, so we're just taking section there at the bottom, and then again, she has long hair, so I want to take down, before I pin this up and cut it, I want to take down this hair and just measure it, make sure that it's the same length as the hair I'm cutting, because sometimes, like if I took, too small of a section, look how short that one is compared to this, just because of, life and your hair getting caught in your purse strap and seatbelt and all these things. So we're gonna make sure, I'm gonna take a little bit thicker section there just to make sure that it's the same length as her length, so I don't cut too much off. Okay. And then since we're doing kind of a lot of layers, not a lot of layers, don't worry. I'm thinking now I probably don't even need to section this. Well, maybe I will. Yeah, I always feel cleaner when I section. Okay, so putting this clip in, remember legs up, that's how you keep it in nice. Legs up. And then again, section it around her ear. And then straight across the back there. Alright, and then clipping that up. And you want, it'll be a little bit rounded because it'll have a face frame in the front. But I guess we'll cut the back pretty straight. Okay, so we're going to take about 1 inch off. I'm going to have my shears. We got like a little dip. So we want to be evenly saturated. That's going to help give you a nice even cut. You don't want to have spots that are completely dry and spots that are soaking wet. You want to be pretty evenly saturated across the board. Okay, so now I'm starting the center back. I'm going to get my guide, small enough to see, or large enough to see, small enough to adjust. That's about 1 inch. My comb is about 1 inch, so that's my guide. I'm going to just take that off and then work from the center out, cutting that line in half. So we're pulling, let me have you tilt your head forward. That's going to give me a nice flat surface. And then I'm going straight down where I see my guide clearly in my fingers and cutting straight across. Holding on to that section for control. And cutting that. And sometimes the curls jump a little bit, so I'm not about look perfect, but it's straight if you pull it straight. Okay, and if she straightens her hair, you want to make sure that you're cutting it straight, even if the curls make it look not straight. Okay, so I got my guide in my view right here, going straight across. And then again, I'm putting my comb right side up and just making sure that line looks pretty even. Let's just look again. Let me put down my hair. That's fairly good, but I see a little divot here. That looks pretty good. Oh, they'll do it here too. And I always like to stand directly behind the person. I don't want to like be looking at it from the side because I might be tilting my head or not looking, straight on. And I really want to get like right behind them, directly behind them. And look at it. See, this is kind of crooked because I was standing on the side doing it. Usually I'm right behind them. It doesn't matter though, it's fine. So you want to just look, sorry if my hair's in your way. Right behind here. Yeah, I'm going to take more just off this corner over here. Let me turn slightly so I can be here. And then tilt your head down again. Did you know your hair is longer on this side?
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't
That's crooked.
take that much off and I'll take a little more. Let's see. But not a lot, just a little bit.
Okay.
My stomach's weird. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now we're going to finish the back. So I'm just going to take down a bunch of hair. Anybody seen anything?
No. Somebody said Avita is not vegan 100%, not to be a Karen or anything. I was a spokesperson for them until probably she found out, or I don't know.
Who's
She finished
talking
her
about
cooking.
Vita?
Canada?
I mean, like, was there another conversation about Avita on there?
No.
Or she just come in and just let y'all know?
Yeah.
I'm just stopping by to tell you this product sucks.
Yeah.
So.
And another person said, "Oh, lefty."
No, I'm right-handed. It's because it's mirrored. And people ask me all that time, I say that all the time when I'm at the salon because they're looking at me in the mirror. They're like, "Oh, you're a lefty." No, no, no. You're looking in the mirror. This is my left hand. See? It makes an L. It probably doesn't look like an L in the mirror. Okay. So now we're going to go and we're just going to clean up this line. I might want to take a little less hair because I can't clearly see my guide. How you doing?
Doing?
Just making small noises back there.
You watching?
Just, yeah. Making sure I know what I'm doing before he gets his cut. Okay. So now I can come straight down. You see that guide in there, nice and clear, coming in. I'm just following my guide. And this part can go real fast because I already have a guide in view and I don't have to think about it. I don't have to check it. As long as I'm following my guide, it's going to be straight. Because I already spent that time checking it. Unless I cut my guide off and then... Okay. Now we're going this way. Let me take a little more hair down here. Maybe I can take the rest down. Let's see. Yeah. So she's got like a little bit of previous layer in there, so it's not super thick on the rest of the hair. So I can go ahead, since I can see my guide clearly through there, I can go ahead and take the rest of it down. And that's all going to be layered anyway, so that's good. Okay.
Oh, you're
Let me get those ends wet. Okay. So that looks good. That's nice and straight, nice and looking good. So now I'm gonna have Lexi sit sideways on the chair. Yeah. So now we got the guide here behind the ear. That's going to be, the very edge of the back section that I cut, and we want to connect it to the face framing here. So we want to take off this angle right here, and we don't want to take it too far back because we don't want to mull it. We want something that she's going to be able to manage and feel, pretty in, and it's going to have enough coverage towards her face. So we're just going to maybe even, starting here, we're just going to kind of angle it until this section kind of drops out. So that's about the angle. You almost want it as close as you can get to straight up and down. So that's going to give you a really nice angle in the front. The more I'm angled back this way, the more it's going to look like a mold. So watch your angles. If anything, always angle it more than you think, just to be safe. Okay, so now we're going to turn you forward. So let me try to stand up. Now we're going with the dips. The dips and the dips.
Okay, Brian loves it. Yes.
Okay, so now we got our length here, and we're connecting just this face framing to the length. So I'm just going to take small sections, and this one probably doesn't have a lot to cut because it's already been cut for the bangs. And we're going to just bring it straight down where it grows, not over-directing forward, not elevating, because that would cause a layer. We don't want a layer, we want a really nice one lane face frame. So I'm just taking like barely anything off. And we're going to walk it around a little more here. And then I'm going with this angle again. I might even take it a little bit further down. we want to take, so we go straight. Because I don't want to angle it too much where she loses a bunch of hair in the front. We want to still have plenty of cover. So we go straight down. So we're going down all the way to that where that section ended, and then pivoting it around. And then I'm not cutting like this. I'm going straight down this way. Let's see that.
Someone just call that your super cuts call.
Don't say that name. Okay, I notice I just missed a little hair right here, so I'm gonna go back and get it. Where'd that guy go? There he is. Okay. Now we got this nice face framing. If you can see that, it kind of starts at the bangs and goes all the way down, which is gonna look really pretty when if she wants to put it up in a ponytail and have a little bit of hair coming down, and depending on how much she wants to take out, she can have, you know, more around her face, or put this up and have less. Okay, so now I'm just gonna look at this line, kind of taking it and kind of cupping it under a little bit. I'm gonna have you bend at the waist forward, and just so I can kind of see where that line's going. And I'm pretty happy with that, where that's going, because I don't want to take it too far into their hair. I want her to have this full. So I think that's okay. It might not connect perfectly, but it looks, visually I think it looks good. Okay, so now put the other side. Do the other things.
Someone's advertising.
Advertising what?
Check out our organic hair care line.
Oh, that's nice. Organic hair care. It's always the best. I'm not going to talk about brands. What, a diffuser? No. Okay. So now we're doing the same thing in this front section. Again, it's going to... Ah. Where are you going? So now we're going to start with this section in the front. Redirect it. Good job, Jen. My sister, I think, just saved my baby's life in the background. Okay, so now we're going to come down. We're going straight down. And this is hard because I need to be like more in front of her. So let me actually turn your knees towards me here. There you go. Now we can kind of see. Ah. I don't have the best setup today because, yeah, this thing moves. Okay. Oh, can I have that? Hey, I got a spray bottle. This is better than the comb dip. Okay. Put this down. This has so much sealing. Oh my gosh.
Hi, Alyssa. Say hi.
Hi, Alyssa. What's happening? What's happening? How is this not? How come this is not? Okay. All right. So look towards me. We're going straight down from where that hair grows, ending right where I left off, and then pivoting it around. And I'm kind of just going to go straight down here. And I'm not going too far down into my hand. I don't want to cut past my second knuckle. Kind of that nice face framing. And it's wispy, like it's not super thick. Like again, I said I don't want to go in her hairline. I don't want to go too far back. I just want to have those pieces if she wants them, but I don't want to have her like this whole piece that she has to style. She can kind of comb them back into her hair if she needs to, but they're there if she wants to take some pieces out and style. So now we're going to do layers. And I'm thinking for her layers, like maybe like here for the shortest one. Yeah, and then we'll give you like some texture and curl. Okay, so we're gonna take our top guide here at the top, and I'm gonna just pull it down and see where it kind of lands. Again, doing very light tension so that I can kind of bounce if it needs to. I imagine it's gonna bounce up a lot more once it's cut, so we'll start with like here. I'm gonna do about like chin length. So we'll just cut that guide. And I think that's gonna be super pretty. Okay, so here we go. So we got this top guide and we got our front guide. So the top guide is longer. So we're gonna connect the dots, working from short to long. So I'm gonna be over here on this side. I'm gonna set that, let me grab that drink of water. Get thirsty. I'm gonna set this on right in the middle there and take a little bit of hair from either side of that part. Not a ton of hair, just enough to see. Ew, it smells so good. It's clean. I get a lot of clean hair in my chair. Okay, so then now we're working from short to long. That way we always have our guide in view, and we're gonna kind of determine this angle. We're going from here all the way up. So this is a pretty straight up angle. So now I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna just kind of pivot it forward. I wanna make sure I'm not getting any of this bang area in my, because this is a little bit, actually I'm gonna start a little bit further back because it's kind of still a lot of the bang. So I'm gonna start about here. Yeah, that's gonna be better. And that will be my angle there. Because I don't want to cut it like exactly where her bangs are, that, you know, we don't want it to be super short in front. Lose all your face room. So, taking that. All right, boom. This is gonna look so good.
I'm excited.
I'm so lucky to get a haircut from the happy hair does.
I know. I'm related
You're related.
to a
Just
celebrity.
wait till you get followers because. Okay, so my section is going to be no wider, and I'm starting, like, tilt your head, chin. So my section is, I'm going to start, I'm moving those bangs out of the way. I don't need those part of my layers because they're done. I don't want them to be any lighter. So I'm taking this section, leaving some of this about, you know, good maybe inch and a half around the hairline, letting that drop out, and taking a section no wider than my comb. Okay, put it up, and I'm going to elevate it straight up to where I see my guide right here and my comb, and then I'm going to angle my fingers up, and since I'm not super tall, I'm gonna just bring it down here so I can cut it here, and I'm just doing like a really steep line. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, whatever. And then I think, and that's already like starting to love this because it's just like bounced into this little perfect curl right here, and it's like, yes, queen. Okay. So here we go. We're gonna move over that section. I'm taking half of that section with the next section, bring it straight up from where it grows. Again, angling it. I can see my previous section through there as a guide, and then I'm just taking this. Oh yes, oh yes, yes. This is gonna, you can tell her hair already, like look how much more life it has just in cutting these layers, where it's like, back here it's like an old dead cat, and here it's like a fun kitten.
Thank you.
Just kidding.
Which socks do you have on her?
Just the rest of this haircut. Do you need me?
No, I'm just wondering if Kyle wants to know what he's next.
Oh, give him like 30 minutes.
Really?
Well, it takes a little longer when I'm talking. This would be 15 minutes in the chair, but 30 minutes when I'm explaining every move. My sister's not very patient.
She likes to know every detail about everything.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
We won't talk shit on camera. lives. Okay, here we go. So going up again. Boom, we got our guide. Again, this is gonna give your hair such, and it might be also, you know, it's starting to pop up because it's fresh hair. All this, you know, the dead ends are being free, and now it's like ready to party, right?
Yeah, I have a lot of dead ends.
Well, and but your hair is in pretty good condition, you know, considering how long it is.
Thank you.
You don't really dye it too much, right? Or
Every like 6 months.
yeah, you've been about due.
I get, what do I look like?
No, I can see your line of demarcation.
Yeah. No,
You go a little bit darker, maybe 2 shades darker.
I think the last time I got my hair dyed was like in May, early May, like maybe late April.
June, July, August, September, so 4
So
months.
usually I'll do it every like May, June, and then every like December, January. And then I get my whole head dyed dark brown.
You get the same person to do it every time.
Yeah, but she's gonna like retire.
Yeah, that's the worst.
In
when you're-
February, I've literally been going to her my whole life, and I'm
That-
like, "Ugh, what do you mean
when you
you're
have a
moving to
hairdresser
Florida?
that you love and then they retire, that is such. You're like, what do I do with my life? My hair. You know? But you know
Yeah.
what? Sometimes like you go to the same person, like you said you went to her for your whole life, so
Yeah.
like maybe it's time to get a new person. Maybe you need a new perspective on your hair, you know? Like
Yeah, I mean, luckily, like the place that I go to, like she can probably refer me to like one of her friends
Yeah.
that like work at the same place.
but that person might be the person that doesn't ever get any requests. That's
Yeah.
why they're free. You know? And if they're friends, you're like, whatever,
Mhm.
she'll just be wishing she still had me.
Mhm.
That's what you do as a hairdresser. You give them to the worst person, so then your customer like comes like, oh, I'll never stray. You know, and come back to you forever. Okay. So yeah, working my way around the head shape, getting towards my.
Color, not dye. Okay, so sorry. Hello from Texas. Hello from Chicago.
But it's, you know, I mean, I see it on packaging that says hair dye,
Yeah.
like even on,
Well, it dyes your hair.
yeah. I think it's interchangeable.
Yeah.
Okay, so we kind of just working on. Traveling up, almost in like a straight line up. This is just so we don't take, you know, too much layers off, and we want them to blend. We want it to be a nice blend of layers. We don't want to be like, see how that comes
We
down?
color hair. We dye eggs. Why are they so upset? Katie, you need to take a choke off.
This is my substitute. She don't mess around. Not like me. Kindness, never, always kindness, always kindness. I don't know why. So on the videos and the comments. Okay. So here we go. Now we're getting this, getting good. Good. So, okay. Now we're looking nice. This is gonna be super cute. I can already tell. This is like, I feel like so much more of a style. And I'll show you how we'll dry it. It'll be really nice. So I'm just gonna check and make sure that looks like I'm looking for a V. I don't know if you can see that. And that's a V. So that's what I want. If I was removing weight, I'd be looking for like a half moon shape, or like not a moon shape, I guess half circle. But since I was maintaining weight at the end, preserving weight, I want a V shape. And then I'm just gonna go around and kind of run through and check to make sure that I didn't miss any sections, that all these hairs are cut, that I don't have any long randoms, that you know the layers look about the same length. And that's just a really quick run through with this. Zoom, zoom. And breathe it up. How's everybody doing in the comments? What does it say in there?
Nothing really.
Is anybody out there a hairdresser? Do you cut hair, color hair? cut your own hair, not a hairdresser, never been to a hairdresser?
The Katie girl said, well, I'm licensed.
Well, that's good.
So she knows the proper terminology.
So she doesn't work as a hairdresser. It's a great job. How come you don't work as a hairdresser, Katie? You did something else? Got a different job? If you're licensed, you should use it. It's a great career. So awesome. Such a good job. But there's definitely a gap. Like when you first start, it's very scary and it's not fun at all. When people are mean and you get that one comment person in the that doesn't like your work and or you just are not good at it. Like when you first start, you suck. So and there's no really right way around it. The only way you can get better is doing volumes of work and in school you don't do volumes of work. You work on a doll head, which is not like a person because they don't have an opinion and they all have exactly the same hair type, which is not the most common hair type. I mean, it's just the easiest, to use, to work with. And, you have to get out there and do volumes and volumes of work with the general public. Then you start realizing, where you're at. And it's like I tell the beauty school, we get into this job because we have good taste, and we're really good at, seeing things and maybe we're artistic and stuff, but there's a big gap between doing good hair and first starting, and because you have good taste, you can tell when your work's not that good, so it weighs on you and it's frustrating, and so then you quit. And then a lot of hairdressers, they go through beauty school, don't end up doing hair because of that reason. And so I say, like, if you're
this one person is watching in Cosmo School.
That's awesome. Yeah,
And then,
if you're in Cosmo School, take the haircut. Like, take every customer you can get your hands on, take them. Maybe not your friends and family, because they'll bring that up every Christmas for the rest of your life. That one haircut you did in beauty school, don't take them. Take random strangers, go down to the homeless shelter, do hair for free. I do that. You don't have to be licensed to do it for free. Just take every cut you can get, do volumes and volumes of work, and then eventually, years later, you will realize that you have a great
She's
job.
4 years in and she's still feeling that way.
Yeah, no, it takes years and years. I would say it was not until I got to about year 5 that I started to relax a little bit and realize that, okay, I'm okay at hair. And then now at year 10, I feel like every day is like, I still screw up, people's hair. A lot of it is because of a lack of communication or something like that, but there still happens that not everything turns out perfectly every day, but I'm better now, so I have a lot more fun when I'm there, and I and I'm more, it's more of an artistic fun thing rather than like, oh God, like how do I get this to do it, to work? And and what kind of separates you there is education, just educating yourself, working on a lot of people and doing a lot of hair. So don't worry about it. If you still feel like that, you might feel like that, and you might be feeling like that too, because you're your worst critic, right? Like other people might think, oh, she gave me a great haircut, but you might think like, no, that wasn't my best work. That was crap. They don't know your potential, say. So don't be so hard on your work. Don't be so hard on yourself, because I should have done that at the beginning.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. Whoa! Now he's falling to the side. Okay.
Somebody asked, where are you located and are you licensed? And it's the same Katie person. She has owned a salon for 7 years and she takes appointments only.
Oh, awesome!
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm in. Well, right now I'm in Illinois, but this is where I grew up. But I am licensed, yes, and I work in Southern Orange County, California. Yeah. So, yay. I'm going to start drying her hair. So, I'll just kind of show you. I don't have, again, the best tools. I wonder if I put something over this to diffuse it. Would that work? I don't know. So, I'm just going to kind of go, and her hair's kind of drying nice here on her own. We're going to just kind of separate a little bit. Not a lot of blowing of the air. We're just going to kind of, go into a low, the nano titanium Babless Pro. Babless, that's a good brand. So we're gonna just go on low setting and we're twisting and just kind of drying that scalp a little bit there. Let me get the brush. Let's see if we can do some better.
It's okay if not, because I feel like you could always do it with a straightener.
Yeah. We want to do it.
Sometimes it's better with a split one.
We want to get it as nice as we can for the camera. If you don't mind. Right in the face.
Somebody said her curls are pretty.
What?
Somebody said my curls are pretty.
They are. They're beautiful. You should. And right now it's like a season for curly hair. Like the season for your regular waves, right? Just to be natural and COVID, right? We all have bad hair, you know, because COVID.
Yeah.
It's a reason for excuses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying not to like blow it too much. If I had a diffuser, I would take the diffuser and just kind of cup it in the diffuser like this and go in and just kind of rest it there so it doesn't disrupt that curl. But I don't have that, so I'm just going to kind of like try to blow it a little bit from the side and kind of aim it. It's a little hard. We're working with challenges, and that's okay. Lexi's such a good model. If I ever do Naha, she's going to be my model. Let's see, that's on the list of things to do.
Wait, if you're gonna do what?
Naha.
What's that?
It's like the national hairdresser. It's like the Grammys for hair,
Oh.
or the Academy Awards for hair. I submit pictures and your work and stuff.
Aw. Someone said, I'm sure you do a great job because I can hear your passion about your work and that's what it takes.
That's true. That's a lot of it is just showing up and not letting, like, you gotta be a duck. You gotta let those bad things roll off your back. And you don't want to just like not care because that's not going to be helping you either. But you want to just stand tall and accept that you made a mistake and then do better and then fix it.
Yeah, just learn from
And I'm very passionate. I love my job. It's not a job. Like someone who if I didn't love my job, would I be doing it like 24/7? Like I literally go home and I make TikToks about it, and then I cut doll heads, and then I cut my friends and family. I'm on vacation right now and I'm cutting hair. I brought my I love this job. I love the high that you get from making people feel good about their hair. But there's also a very, very low if they don't like it. That's hard. So these are like super. Is Harper biting you, Jen? She hurts. It hurts.
Really?
So these curls are not the perfect, like it's hard because a lot of times after a haircut, a lot of times you've been combing it straight, so the curls don't look like quite as pretty as not that they don't look pretty, but they don't look as good as if you were to, get out of the shower and just kind of finger dry it or use like a large tooth comb and maybe a t-shirt to dry it instead of a towel, just so there's less frizz and like just kind of keeping that curl pattern perfect and not disrupting that curl as much as I have been combing it straight the whole time we're cutting our hair. So it's harder to get a perfect curl this way, but we will try. Oop. Punch you in the face.
That's my penis.
And then like these are like obviously we don't want to keep them maybe like this like little ringlet curls, but as it dries we're putting in these like ringlets, so then it can kind of dry in that shape without being disrupted too much. And then once it's completely dry, then she can go through and run her hands through it, and it'll be like nicer, bigger waves rather than these like corkscrews. But I'm just kind of going with what her hair tells me to do naturally, like I'm just kind of feeling it out, working with it rather than against it. Right? I'm kind of separating these shorter layers up here just to give it a little bit more dimension. Beautiful.
Somebody wants you to say hi to them because it's their birthday.
Hey, it's my birthday. Can you please say hi? My name is Addie. Hey, Addie, happy birthday. Why are you doing this on your birthday? You should be out celebrating because COVID, right? Thanks for spending your birthday with me. That makes me feel kind of special. Special. All right, so we're just kind of going through again and just twisting. Yeah, well, we gotta let it dry like this, see, Jen. These are nice girls. Next, you got the nice girls.
Oh, they said you are so awesome.
Thanks.
The girl whose birthday it is.
Aw. Well, happy birthday. Should we sing?
No,
You don't want to?
I don't want to sing.
You don't want us to
But
sing?
happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Oh. Is that Kyle? He's my nephew's dying to get on the camera over here. He's got to plug his YouTube channel. Okay. So there we go. She looks so fancy like that. We're gonna blow dry it, and then we'll do like a final result in the Instagram. If you guys go to Instagram, we got it super cute. God, I wish I had a good. How's this sitting? I wonder.
That looks good. I like that.
Okay.
I like when it I like that it goes like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that was just just kind of, and I did it with this brush. This is not a brush I would normally use, but it works. You just bring it forward and down and then bend it. And actually this one is kind of nice because it doesn't have like a big, huge bend. It kind of has like that, it's pretty thin right here, so it gives it more of a crease kind of, and it gives it just like that shape. And then kind of just wrap it in with that. Pretty. Okay. So pretty. Okay, I can mess with this all day. I won't keep you here all day. That's like the short layers. And then it looks like kind of corkscrew right now, but
Well, I know you have to run a picture
Yeah.
of it. It's okay.
we'll take a picture and I'll put it in my Instagram so you can see it like dry and the finished look. Cool. All right, now we got one more. You guys want to see one more? How many people? You guys what is it? I got one more. Mr. Kyle. This is gonna be a men's haircut. Clippers. This is my nephew Kyle.
Hi.
Hello. Kyle, what's your YouTube channel?
Stealth gaming.
Stealth Gaming. Kyle Parton. Look it up. You like, what is it on? YouTube?
Yeah.
YouTube. Playing video games though, right?
Yeah.
Video game based.
Haven't updated in like so long.
Oh, so he needs to update, but keep that in mind. How do you want your haircut, Kyle?
I want like a little trim on the side and a little trim on the top.
Do you have like a number that you like on the side? Like a medium?
A two.
Number 2. So the numbers go like this. They're all 1/8 of an inch. I mean, some different clippers do different numbers, but pretty standard. Wall, Oster, Babless. If you're they each go by 1/8 of an inch. So a number 1 would leave 1/8 of an inch on the head, which is like Velcro. if you think of how long Velcro is. And then a number 2 would be a 1/4 inch, 3 is 3/8, 4 is a half, 5 is 5/8, 6 is a third, 3/4, and then an 8 is an inch. Okay. Okay, so now, what are we working with here? This is all like surprises. We've got a Best Bomb,
Amazon special.
an Amazon special.
During COVID.
It comes with its hair already in there. Am I gonna wipe that off? Okay. We're just gonna get some of that out. Oh, lots of hair. Haven't cleaned this one ever.
Yeah.
We might even oil it because I bet it's never been oiled. Has it? No, it hasn't been oiled. Why would you oil a brand new clipper? That would be insane.
Yeah.
It probably gets to be 10,000 degrees when you're clipping it too, right? Yeah. So that's like part of the fun. You have oil or no? You don't have any oil?
The sun is so bright.
Oh, sorry, sir. You get a free haircut. You can't complain.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got the lever on the side. When it's closed, it's a 0. When it's open, it's a half. So if I want to do like a 2.5, I would open it and put a 2.5. So that's open and that's closed right there. Okay, so now I'm going to get my 2. This is a number 2, 1/4. I'm going to have it closed because he wants a 2. Now 2.5. And I'm going to stick the teeth in there first and then just clip it. Usually it clips on here. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Snap it on the back. Oh, that might work. Why?
What is
It's
that?
oil. I don't think it matters. It's WD-40, guys. Tell me if this.
WD-40.
I was just gonna smell like you stepped right out of the
Yeah.
oil
It's
shop.
gonna smell like the garage. It's part of the free haircut.
Yay.
You smell like a garage. Okay. Now to check.
Like garages.
So again, I'm closing the blade, sticking the teeth on there first, and then clipping it on there. So, okay, I'm gonna have you turn around. I'm gonna turn the chair around the other way so they can see the back here.
Okay.
So stand up. Whoa, whoa, watch the camera.
No.
Okay, right here.
Surprisingly, shop at.
Okay, so now we're gonna just go through with my number 2. Can you turn your head a little bit this way? I'm gonna start in the center back and I'm gonna just work my way up. I'm using like a handshake grip here. So I like to instead, I don't wanna be too far back on my clipper. I wanna choke up on it so that my thumb is almost, pretty close to those teeth right there. And I'm using the handshake grip. And we're just gonna go up the head and then scoop it off. And that's gonna give me a weight line at the top so that I can blend that out later. So we go straight up and then scoop out. If I go straight up all the way, it's gonna give me more of a flat top shape. All right. And then we're gonna do each section, working from the center out, and then overlapping each section. So. I'm gonna kind of go the opposite, little different ways to make sure I get all that hair off there. Alright. Gonna kind of check for balance, make sure. Sometimes there's like, the head is not perfectly round, so there's spots that look a little bit darker. Just want to kind of press into it a little. And And don't be afraid to like do it with like good pressure. You don't want to be so light-handed that like you're barely getting the hair, because then the person's gonna be like, okay, this person has no idea what they're doing. So you want to make sure you give enough pressure that you're not, you know, they're cutting it all, but not so much pressure that it's like digging in their hair. Okay, so now I'm gonna have you turn to the side. Actually, could you sit sideways on the chair? Flip your legs over here, and we'll go to this side. Okay, so now we ended here. We're just gonna take it to the front, and around the ear. I don't want to go unless they. I mean, he's got a pretty large space here, which is nice because I can kind of go straight in. But if this person had, you know, maybe wanted to keep it a lot longer on top or something, you want to be careful about going around the ear too straight. You want to kind of go at a like a 45 degrees. So if you're, you know, going in here, you want to kind of tilt it around the ear so that you're leaving a weight line that we can clean up later. And that's going to help blend. So we're just going to hold that ear down, kind of go around that area, and then come up to you. And I like to, like a lot of these haircuts, I like to take them pretty high. You always want to leave like a weight line so that you have room to blend, but you can take it up a little bit higher, like where this temple is here. Remember to kind of scoop off so you do leave a weight line. Okay. So now we're going to have you flip your legs the other way. And then okay. So now we've got that weight line. I'm going to have you turn with your feet this way. So we're going to not face the camera. Yes. Or maybe here. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wet. Let's see if you can see this real good. Let me put this up a little bit. Well, that's okay. I'm not gonna see it. I'm gonna wet the hair on top. How short do you want the top?
It's a bit short.
Pretty short? Like, half of what's there, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. So, should I stand frontward and see what happens?
What?
And yeah, let's sit to the side. Put your legs over here. Okay, look old. So, now I'm just going to do the front, and we're going to start with his bangs here, and we're just going to, let's have you actually sit. There we are. It's easier.
There we go.
Okay, we're going to start with his bangs. He got like kind of a little crooked bang last time. So we're going to take about like half of this. So, because he's probably not going to wear it straight down like this.
I don't wear it like
Yeah, he doesn't. Okay, so we're going to start in that center, just making a small guide. It's going to take about half an inch. And now I don't want to be like too framey with this. Sometimes I like to cut it like up towards, going up a little bit, just so it doesn't look so like straight across mow. I even like to like elevate it like almost straight out, just to kind of give it so it's not such a straight line. It's more of a textured line. So that's what I'll take. So I'm just kind of connecting it to where that clippered area ends right there, and then on the other side, do the same thing. I'm gonna walk around here. Into it easier. I'm gonna put your head up a little more. And then I'm gonna take that corner off
I have a tripod too.
there. For the camera?
Yeah.
Really?
Literally, it's in the other room.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can I borrow it?
Sure.
We're in the other room.
Do you want me to go get it?
If you want, yeah.
What's wrong with the tripod?
Well, this one is like,
Oh, we don't have one that has an arm on it though.
oh, you can't use that on a camera?
No. Yeah, it has to be a camera you can screw into. It doesn't have
Oh.
that top.
But mine's bottom looks exactly like
Oh, well, that doesn't help. Okay, sit with your legs over here. On this side, the other way. Legs over, sorry. This side. Okay, so now I got, you know, that cut. So now I'm gonna look at this top and actually spin with your legs behind, over here on this side. And then put your head looking straight up. So now I'm looking at the top and I see like, this is where his little cowlick is, right? So that's where I'm gonna start because I don't wanna cut that so short. I mean, unless he's going really short. If he's going really short, yeah, I can kind of cut it off and make it short enough that it's not gonna stick out. But since he's not going too short, I don't wanna cut it, you know, I have to stay with that bend of the hair or else it's gonna stick straight up. So I would say like right now, if I look at a little piece here, and I don't know if you can see this, but, and I bend it, like you want to cut it after this bend right here. So it has to be over here. So this is about as short as this piece is gonna go. We're not gonna take much off of there. We might take a little when we like blend it. Unless he was like someone that uses a lot of product every day, and I don't think he is. I mean, I don't know, but I don't think a lot of pictures. So I'm gonna start there. So I'm gonna just take, you know, that piece, that's about the length right there. And see, you can see this piece is a lot longer, so I'll take more here. And I'm just gonna walk this up to the top of the head. So the top of the head, again, we're looking for that bend. We don't want to take too much off. I mean, we really, unless he wants his hair to stick straight up, we don't want to take too much off. But I'm just gonna follow this line, connecting those 2 points. Okay, and that's gonna leave me with that top guide. So now spin your legs so you're sitting in the chair like normal. Okay, so now I got.
I'm holding a piece of my hair.
Ooh. You're examining like a chimp, every hair that falls off. Okay, so now I'm doing my top guide, and I'm just gonna look at how I'm gonna connect. So this is my front guide and my top guide here. I'm gonna connect those two. So it's pretty much straight across, so I can stand on either side and do this. So I'm gonna start in the front and just take it straight. It's not going past my second knuckle. Straight. Okay, so then we got, that's our top guide. Now we're gonna comb this straight down. Oh, there's my baby girl.
She cried because I left.
Oh, look at that. Okay, so now we're gonna go around layers. So can you kind of sit this way? There.
Like
Yeah, that's, yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna take just a small section from the front. We're gonna pull it straight up. We're preserving length because that recession area right here, we don't wanna, you know, it's a little finer at the bangs, we don't wanna cut a hole. And we're just gonna cut that straight across. Taking half of that section, and then the next section, bringing it straight up. And again, we're still in that little recession area, so we're not gonna be following the head shape, we're gonna be just taking it straight across to preserve weight in that area. Okay, bringing this down. My sections aren't much wider than the width of my comb. My arm is reflecting the angle that I'm cutting at to ensure I'm going in a straight line. And again, I'm still in this recession area, so we're careful not to cut into that hairline too much. And then now that we're kind of getting past there, I'm going to start following it down and trying to connect it to that clipper area here. Move this out of the way. And I'm going down. You can see my elbow is going down this time because I'm removing weight at the end of or at the bottom. And then I'm going to follow that shape around again. Tell me if anybody's asking questions. And continue down. I'm gonna have to sit with the legs going this way. Or actually, no, what? Legs going back. This way.
Leg workout.
Yeah, all this moving is getting me tired. Okay, so now I'll be working around this way, so I can change the camera angle so you can see. Alright, so I'm just following that head shape down. And a rest. Okay. Guide. Make sure I got my guide in view here. It's kind of hard to do. I don't know if you can see, but I'm trying to move my arm out of the way so you can see what I'm doing here. It's like a really long piece. Let me check this out. I'm using this piece is like super long. That's from probably because the previous person was also trying to preserve weight right there, or preserve length. So that was good. That was a smart cut, lady. Wherever you got your haircut, they did a good job. Was it Jen?
Great. Oh, hair cuttery?
What? Okay, so kind of just working around. This is not going to be a lot for move because I'm going to take that weight off with the clippers if I need to, but as far as the scissors, it's pretty short there. I'm not going to mess with it too much. And just kind of using this as my center. His little cowlick here is kind of my center pivot point where I'm going to pivot around the head from. Because if you can see, the cowlick, it goes in a circle. The hair wants to naturally fall in this circle. So your hair, as it grows, you know, out of this cowlick. It's a circular pattern around your head. And that's why a lot of times people have one side that flips under and one side that, or flips out, and one side that flips under or curls under. Because their hair is kind of in this circle, so this side would curl under where this side would flip out. Okay, so then we're continuing around that circle shape. Just kind of got all that excess off, and then we're going to blend it with the clippers. Here. Okay. Jenny, ask a question. Okay, dope. So now we're getting around to that front area. I know it's probably hard to see because I'm not facing the camera, so that's a pain. Okay, so now I'm just going to go through and I'm going to just check. This area is a little bit longer right there, but that's supposed to be just making sure I'm about the same length all the way across. If I see any like little pieces that are longer, I can adjust. And then, okay, turn so you're facing the camera. Somebody invited me to go live together? What is that? I missed it. Did you see it, Eric? Someone invited to go live together, but I don't know who it was. Is it someone neat? Where is it?
I don't know.
Follow. Gotta go, I really enjoyed. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna do. So now I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna texture a little bit because I want textured bangs. I'm just gonna kind of point cut.
What's going on with my nose?
Sorry.
My eyeballs. That's probably
Taking
why
it so it's not so like Frankenstein, you know, we want to put a little texture in there. How do you like to wear your hair? Do you wear it up or comb down or?
I do it to the side.
Okay. Just texturizing some of these little.
On the camera, I look like I have makeup.
Oh, maybe did you wear makeup?
No, it looks like I have red lipstick.
I wonder if there's like, sometimes it looks weird on the live. Sometimes it looks like there's a filter. And I don't know how to get rid of that. If anybody has any tips. Do you wear it this way?
Is it opposite on the camera?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the same as you would look in a mirror. Or this way. Going this way?
No, it's the other way.
Okay, that's kind of what your hair is telling me it wants to do, so we're not going to fight it. We'll take it
That looks good.
Although these bangs are like, nah. Let's see.
It's fine.
Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of this. I'm not really sure. We only got limited time with some people. Because they get super itchy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to go blend it. So I want you to turn your legs around back towards this side again. Now I'm going to blend it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guard off and I'm going to just use my clipper in that the lowest setting, so closed. And I'm just going to go in with my little barbering comb here, and I'm just going to clipper over comb any of the the shorter pieces. So I'm looking for, I'm going to blend this length with this length. So I'm basically going to take out this whole weight line. So just starting here, I'm going to go in, and I like to go in kind of up and down because then I can, yeah, there's my son. I can see in the profile the triangle I need to take off, rather than going in like this, because I can have a tendency to cause more damage. Like if I don't get that angle perfect, I might cause damage by putting on a line. So go ahead and put your head straight up here. Not super straight, just like normal. And then, so I'm just going to go in. I want to be careful like around this area and this area, because a lot of times these things stick up a lot. So you either have to leave it long enough to bend or go short. So I'm going to just kind of start there and just start going in at that weight line. Try to remove some of that weight. And anytime I see a shadow, that's where like there's more weight on there. So it's, and it's hard to tell. Like a lot of times clipper cuts are hard to photograph too, because they always leave a little bit of a shadow. So you might see more of a shadow than there's actually there. Now I'm turning to the feet over here. So I'm just kind of working my way around, taking out that weight line. And it also looks darker because it's wet right now. So as it dries, it'll look more blended. So I want to take away this kind of hair. This is kind of a chunk. You don't want that there for sure. So we're going to kind of maybe move the bangs out of the way a little bit just so we don't get those. And then we're going to take this pretty short and blend it with this. Okay, going in. And just go in and get the burns. Alright, just taking a little bit of that weight line off, maybe a little bit. That looks nice. See, that's coming together real nice. Okay, so now let's turn the chair around. You're gonna put your legs the opposite of what you're doing. Just leave it.
Oh,
Okay, and we're gonna go this way.
it's a pull of hair right there.
Well, yeah. All my feet. Okay.
Don't worry, Dad's ready with the
What?
Dad's ready for that.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, he's standing by.
Non lookout.
Okay, maybe I should use a little more profile. Try to have this way. You can kind of see. I can tell. But I'm looking for like a triangle here. Or any long pieces that are going to fall over my comb. So I'm just kind of going over and blending. And this is the, the part of the haircut that you either make or break a haircut with the blend, because if you don't have a good blend, then it's just the haircut looks like a bowl, right? So you have to have that good blend. Okay, don't move, please. Move, you bleed. Name that movie. You don't know?
I know it.
You move, you bleed. Name that movie. I'll give you a hint. He's in a tailor. It's a tailor. My sister's good at this. Anybody know it? Anybody know? Nobody's got it. You move, you bleed. He's got a pin in his mouth. He's making a suit. Do you need another hint from the movie?
Yes.
Gosh, I don't even know another one. Oh, I just love to dance. Because I love to dance.
Oh, is it Girls Just Want to Have Fun?
Yeah, yes. You got it. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so let me have you turn your legs a little bit more at an angle. Okay, so now again we're at this little area here. Actually, I'm going to take a little more. Oh, don't move. This is the part where it's tricky because people want to move, and even if they like move their little toe, it like affects the whole thing. You know, it's not just moving the head; it's any part of your body.
I saw some toe wiggles.
Don't wiggle those toes, sir.
All the hair
Or don't
on
chew gum while I'm cutting your hair. That's something I'm going to add to my. Are you chewing gum while I'm trying to do your sideburns, sir? Should you just stop gnawing at it for 10 minutes? It's moving the whole side of your head. I gotta write that down. That stuff is gold. That stuff is gold. Okay, so looking better. Looking like a good little blend we got there. All right, so I'm guessing we don't have a trimmer, right? She thought this was the trimmer.
You have the trimmer, don't you?
That is the trimmer.
The little
Where-
guy, the little trimmer that you have upstairs.
Do you have like a peanut or something? Maybe a little.
Yeah, we have some peanuts.
Not like to eat, like a peanut. It's like a trimmer. It's really small.
Yeah, he's got one.
Oh, he does.
He's on the move.
Oh, cool. So we're gonna get a trimmer here. Yay, guys! See,
Yay.
we can actually finish this haircut.
A free
Any questions?
haircut on the side.
So we got like a nice little blend there. Now we're gonna go around. We're gonna clean up those edges. I didn't take it quite as short as, but like this gives them something to play with, and especially if you wanted to wear it to the side, you gotta have some length in the front there. Otherwise, it's just gonna that short hair is just gonna start going back to its original position. You need that length to kind of weigh it down and help style it. How look? Oh, cool. Sure about what? The trimmer? Does it? It doesn't like. Is this as short as it goes?
I think so.
Like a half an inch? No. This is how short it goes. There's like a good like eighth of an inch. That's okay. That's fine.
Hi, Hunter.
Okay, be careful with that.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna go and do like more of like a natural back, and I'm just gonna go up with it and just take the neck out. And if I want to, you know, I can go this way and kind of etch out that line or however I want it to look.
That's a good itching machine.
It's not though.
Okay, are you gonna do Brian's live too, or do you want to do that later?
I don't care. Whatever you want. Do you want me to
Later.
do his
Tomorrow.
hair later? Okay, yeah, that's fine. So we're just getting all this hair off her neck, and then turn your legs this way a little bit. Now I'm gonna go, yeah, right, perfect. Put your head up. I'm gonna just kind of take that sideburn, and then holding the ear and just kind of going around. We don't want white walls, but white walls is that when you have a big space in between the ear and the hairline. Some people like that, like a lot of old men, because they they like it because then it takes a while to grow back over their ears. So if they're gonna be like a long time between haircuts, maybe they'll ask for white walls to get a little more time out of the haircut. Because that's when it starts to bug guys. I think when it starts to grow over the ears. And I'm just gonna kind of comb this down and just hold it straight out, and I can see any long pieces that I might need to trim. And then turn the other way. All the way over here. Yeah, and then to the side. And I always, do the side, and I look from the front, make sure we're looking like we're even there on both sides. And then we're gonna go around the edges, and this is my specialty. I feel like I'm a barber for sure. If you get men's barbering, that's hard to get. Some of those guys on YouTube in the urban communities, oh my god, I love watching them. It's just amazing to watch what they can do with someone's hair. I would love to go into that salon and just sit on the wall, be a fly on the wall. Okay, so now it's kind of going here. And then turn it to repeat it here. And then get this side of the back of the neck. Put your head down. Let's go that far down. Okay. You're done, sir. Let me fix the front just so you. Oh, sorry. Okay. So let's face you the other way. Can you stand up just like that? Or I'll face you around here in the front, and then we're just gonna put a little style to it. Maybe we'll kind of wear it.
I look good.
Ooh. Wear it up so you've got the nice sides there. Cool. Great style. Looking like right out of GQ magazine, huh? What do you think, guys? You like it? Looks good. Looks too hot to trust. Okay. Sorry about all the hair on your face. Let me see. Can I use this towel? That's the worst part about clippers is the hair. So I don't mind the mask at work, because then I'm not wearing your beard after I cut it off. Okay, sir. You probably want to jump in the shower.
I'll jump in the shower in the pool. Basically.
You jump into the pool and just hair comes out of your hair everywhere. And then we all have to jump into the pool into that hair. Yeah, maybe rinse it out first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Careful stepping. Watch your feet.
Well, that's it for me.
Oh,
We've got Brian coming. He's at the heavy duty shop vac, so he's ready to clean up. So, they said you look like a hunk golden.
Hunk.
Specific. Anyway, yeah, I'll post all the end results on my Instagram page, The Happy Hairstylist. And again, thank you guys for, I know time is a resource you can't get back, and I thank you so much for choosing to spend it with me today. Happy hairstyles!